Good morning, students. Let us continue the chapter. In my previous video, I was explaining the chapter The Black Spot, which is actually the third chapter in The Treasure Island, written by R.L. Stevenson. So here we are just in the middle of the chapter, The Black Spot, where I left. I left when the narrator was taking the blind man to the captain. The blind man clung close to me, holding me in one iron fist and leaning almost more of his weight on me than I could carry. So his narrator is telling that the blind man put all his weight on him and I was not able to carry him because he was a quite tall man and I was feeling trouble. Lead me straight up to him, and when I am in view, cry out, "Here is a friend for you, Bill." So he gives him the instructions. The blind man gives instructions to the narrator. Lead me straight up to him. Take me to the captain. And whenever we see him or he sees me, suddenly you have to give me an alarm. You have to cry out a sentence. Here is a friend for you, Bill. You will speak like that Bill, your friend has come. If you don't, I'll do this. So he threatens him again. He says, if you will not do this, then I will do this. And with that, he gave me a twitch that I thought would have made me faint. And again he gave him a blow that he thought that I would have become faint because he gave me a hard blow. Between this and that, I was so utterly terrified of the blind beggar that I forgot my terror of the captain, and as I opened the parlour door, cried out the words he had ordered me in a trembling voice, because now earlier he was frightened of the captain, but now he is saying that I was more frightened of this blind beggar. So as he was giving me instructions, I was following. Who is speaking all this? The narrator. He says, as he had instructed me to cry out, I cried out the words which he had told me. Then, I cried out all those words, but in a trembling voice, because he was actually scared. The poor captain raised his eyes, and at once all color went out of his face. So the poor captain, he heard what this narrator was saying. He raised his eyes, and at once his face color went out. When does the face color goes out? When we are scared, badly scared, and left him staring so. And he just he was looking totally different. Otherwise he was such a he had such a great personality, and people used to get frightened of him, but now his face color was so different. It was looking as if he was terribly badly frightened. The expression of his face was not so much of terror as of mortal sickness. So the narrator is again explaining it was not of terror, but it was something mortal sickness, as if he was remembering something happened in the past. So he was thinking about that, that feeling was coming in his mind that now he is caught or now something will happen. He made a movement to rise. He just took a movement to stand up, but I do not believe he had enough force left in his body. But as he had suffered from a stroke, so it looked that he had no force in his body to move himself up. "Now, Bill, sit where you are," said the beggar. Beggar now threatens the captain also. "Wherever you are, sit there, don't stand. If I can't see, I can hear a finger stirring." He says, "I am blind, but don't think that I would not come to know that you are trying to stand, or you are trying to move, or you are trying to do something. Business is business." So it means he had come for some other reason. It was not a simple visit. "Hold out your left hand," he says. "Hold out your left hand." Boy, take his left hand by the wrist and bring it near to my right. So now again he orders. First he ordered the captain, hold out your left hand, take out your left hand, and then he orders the boy, the narrator, take his left hand, hold him by his wrist and bring near to my right. Then we both obeyed him to the letter. We to the letter means every word whatever he was speaking, they both were following him word to word, letter to letter. And I saw him pass something from the hollow of the hand that held his stick into the palm of the captain's, which closed upon it instantly. Now the narrator noticed that he had something in his hand. With the hand he was holding his stick. Then he handed over something to captain, right? And now that's done, said the blind man. Blind man, hey, now he appeared totally different. It was looking as if now his assignment is done. He has done his assignment. Means why he had come here, that assignment is done. And at the words he suddenly left hold of me. And as he uttered those words, and now that's done, he suddenly left hold of the narrator, and with incredible accuracy and nimbleness skipped out of the parlor and into the road. Now it was looking as if he was not blind. With so much accuracy he just so nimbleness means so fast, with the movement was so fast that he skipped out of the parlor. You can say he just went out of the parlor and into the road, and where I still stood motionless. I was standing motionless, but within few seconds, the blind beggar had vanished. I could hear his stick go tap tap tapping into the distance. Though I could hear his the stick, it means it was clear that he was blind only. But his tap tap tapping, the voice went into the distance. So he just went away, and within few seconds, it was some time before either I or the captain seemed to gather our senses. Before that we could sense that what is happening, he has left the place, but at length, and about at the same moment, I released his wrist, because till now I was holding his wrist. It happened in few seconds only, so I released it, which I was still holding. He was still holding the wrist of the captain, and he drew in his hand and looked sharply into the palm. Then he drew his hand and he sharply looked into his palm, that what was in his palm. He had a card in his palm. There was nothing else but a card was there in his palm. On one side of the card there was a big black spot. Big black spot. Something to mind? This is the name of this chapter, the black spot. So the card had this black spot. It was a symbol much feared by the pirates. So it was a symbol, pirates used to get frightened by this symbol. The captain knew it meant either deposition, means the captain knew it very well, because pirates and captains and they all are related to sea only, so they could understand all these signals or death. So he understood that what does it mean, that now you will be removed. This was a sign, black spot, that now you are over. On the other side the card bore a message, and there was a message also on this card. Moving on to now last page. 10 o'clock, the captain cried. 10 o'clock, 6 hours, and he sprang to his feet. And then he he was, you can say, he was out of his senses. He was shocked. Something, it was related to time. Even as he did so, he reeled. Reeled means he moved in an unsteady way. Put his hand to his throat, and he put his hand to his throat, and something had happened to him. Stood swaying for a moment. He was trying to stand, and then with a peculiar sound, suddenly some great sound came, fell from his whole height, face foremost to the floor. And what happened? He just fell down. How it happened? I ran to him at once. Narrator suddenly ran towards him, calling to my mother. He was calling his mother, but haste was all in vain. But they were trying their level best, but it was all in vain. No one could help. No one could help at that moment. The captain had been struck dead by thundering apoplexy. So the sudden loss of the ability to feel. He became, he stopped, feeling something. It is a curious thing to understand, for I had certainly never liked the man. But it was quite curious thing, to understand that what happened to him, what happened to Captain, because I had never liked that man. Though of late I had begun to pity him, but lately I used to, feel pity for him. That earlier I never liked that man, but as I was living with him, so I had feeling of pity for him. But as soon as I saw that he was dead, but as soon as he came to know, the narrator came to know that he was no more, the captain was dead, I burst into a flood of tears. It was another great shock for the narrator. It was the second death I had known. Why it was the second death? Because just now his father had also passed away, and the sorrow of the first was still fresh in my heart. So the narrator says that how God can be so cruel. Just now I lost my father, and now I have lost the captain with whom I was living. The God cannot be so cruel. That's all, viewers. I hope you must have understood the chapter. I have tried my level best. Thank you, viewers.